Oh, shit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Abyss.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you having some trouble over there?
The beer just was overflowing.
Yeah, we're drinking what, pH low right now, so it's an acidic beer.
pH, it's called The Flow. It's not pH low. The Flow, Sunshine IPA from Roadhouse Brewing Co.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea that it's like an acidic beer. It's like, I don't know why, but my tongue kind of hurts.
My pH is off today. It's a little low.
So we just got a new paid supporter. It was the Modelo man, the guy who bought us beer last week, and he sent us an email to entertheabysspod@gmail.com. By the way, you can always send us recommendations there. I'll go ahead and just read his email. He said, "Dilly dilly, gentlemen.
Dilly dilly.
Greetings from shitty Southern California." I feel you, man.
Amen.
Been listening to your podcast on Spotify. On Spotify since your conspiracy theory tier 1 part 1.
Oh, it's been a minute.
I decided to support the show on Buzzsprout and YouTube channel 2 weeks ago. You guys have brought me a lot of intrigue and laughs since then. I work overnights at a warehouse, so most of your podcasts set the mood for the night for me.
Oh, damn.
I always like setting the mood.
Setting the mood.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of mood, I hope.
Probably a little bit different.
Wow, 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 wow.
I got this. No, what's that feeling?
I've been really trying.
Yeah, you got it. That's what I'm going with. I have 2 serial killers for you to look into. The Toolbox Killer, which I have heard of. He's that guy who played the audio to the people he's going to murder in his little trucker cage or whatever it was.
God damn.
I think that would be a really good one, so that's a great recommendation. And the Golden State Killer, which I don't really know who that is, so
I've
we'll
heard
have
of
to
that
look into
one.
that. But then he says, but if you're looking for a more supernatural case to investigate for us, then you should look into the Cecil Hotel Ghosts or the Hauntings on the Queen Mary. Oh, I've heard of at least the Queen Mary. Anyways, boys, I'm going to take a shot for you, your families, and your podcast health. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers.
We should have brought shots. Anyways,
to you, Modelo time.
We're going to be doing one of your recommendations next week. We will keep it a secret, but stay tuned. It'll be very exciting.
And thanks for reaching out with a lot of suggestions. And as Clete mentioned before, anyone is open to emailing us, entertheabysspod@gmail.com with any suggestions, personal stories you've had that have happened to you. We're willing to cover anything.
Anything embarrassing, we'll read them. And thank you for supporting the channel because we really break even maybe on what we do here. So we definitely appreciate whenever someone's like, hey, we'll go ahead and contribute to that. So thank you so much.
Very much.
Modelo, love. Was that his name, Modelo?
Modelo time. Modelo love.
Oh, Lord.
Clete really likes Modelo.
I love Modelo.
Modelo love.
I love it. All right, so we are going to be doing a Reddit thread tonight, and I went ahead and found this one myself. The title just kind of drew me to it. So
And I wonder why. It's such a captivating
Oh,
thread.
yes, it is highbrow. So what is the most pants-shitting paranormal experience you've had?
Wow.
If you ever ask, Reddit, an online forum like that, you know you're going to get something good.
I just hope there's no pictures involved.
Literally just
defecated
shitty
themselves.
pants.
I saw a ghost and I shit.
10 pages of just that.
That's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Someone said, boo to me. Here's the result.
It's just fucking let loose.
I had a gallon of Taco Bell.
Oh.
So that doesn't even make sense. Why would you measure by a
Taco
gallon?
Bell and a bucket of beans and a ghost later, and tragedy struck. Okay, so let's jump into this here. First one is from Shiba Ichigo. I dated a girl who lived in a house Aaron Burr hid in after killing Alexander Hamilton. I always said ghosts were bullshit, but that place was haunted as fuck. Middle of the night, nobody else in the house but us. I'd hear footsteps, hear whispers, and see shadows moving room to room. Doors would open and close, shit would fall off of shelves. One night I was playing with her dog, rolling a tennis ball into the next room, and the dog was rolling it back. Bounce, bounce. Nothing for a few seconds. Bounce, bounce. Ball comes back. Yeah, it's not the dog doing that. I did that for 15 minutes before I realized that the dog was behind me asleep. Then the door slammed. I went straight home.
The ghost is like, just in case you didn't get my message, motherfucker.
I don't want to be that guy, but you really think that the dog's just in this other room bouncing the ball back to you? That's something dogs do?
What probably was going on is there was a low key B&E going on, and the ball came and just hit the crook And then he like kicked it and heard it bounce, and he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, and just slammed like his way out. And the guy's like, a ghost.
Yeah,
It's really
probably.
just someone breaking into his
Breaking
home.
and entering.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this one is from Sinag.
Okay.
My mother-in-law insisted that her house was haunted as she kept seeing this creature, which looked like a dog walking upright. I have a science education and was in the middle of trying to explain to her many possible explanations for what she was seeing when a ghostly dog-like figure standing up ran across the stairs, which was visible from where we were talking. So first of all, it's probably just a visual. Oh my fucking God.
I can't explain that. Okay, this comes from Level Region 2410. When I was around 20, I was asleep in the middle of the night. I woke up and saw a floating, transparent body about 3 feet away from the bed, like a literal ghost from the movies. Like,
Was it rattling chains?
I assumed I was still dreaming, but it was disconcerting that my cat was sitting next to me, hyper-focused in the same direction. I closed my eyes hard and then reopened them. The ghost, or whatever it was still there when I opened my eyes again. I said out loud, "What do you want?" Just as I said that, my cat leaped into the ghost with splayed legs, like it was hell-bent for leather.
Yeah, like it's cats. They like to scratch leather.
Oh, well, I mean, my cat scratched fucking everything, but interesting. So what happened? Cat just leapt over, and
This is why I like cats, man. He was gonna kill that fucking ghost.
you don't know that. The ghost probably grabbed it and ripped it in half right in front of him.
I get cats, man. That cat was going for blood.
Yeah. Well, I hope we got the ghost that's just floating over the bed. Love those ones that are just like, we have no idea what happened. He's like, my cat leapt at it like it's
And
crazy
then-
for leather.
And the end.
It's like, okay.
In the middle of the battle. The end.
Hopefully you and the cat are okay. Hopefully nothing
My whole
happened.
family died. I don't want to really expand
Yeah,
about
I
what
don't really
happened.
want to talk about it. I'm
Jesus showed up at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night.
Hello,
and said,
my child.
Hello, my child.
I'm the sole survivor now, but I don't want to talk about that. Cool.
It's not very important.
Let's move on.
All right,
Then.
the next one is Chuck BS. Our family cat was quite old and pretty sick. My sister was leaving the country for like 6 months. The cats bonded with her as a kitten, and she picked him up the day she left and told him to wait for her to come home. He passes like a month later. For the next 5 months, he haunted that house. You hear him run up and down the stairs, push doors open. It was like he was still there. This happened until my sister came home. Then it happened once more for her, and that was that. The little guy waited. Oh, that's kind of heartwarming.
No.
You know, we did one of our like second episodes we did. I still remember this near-death experiences. People always talked about seeing their pets before they passed.
Dude, that was years ago. Can you
I
believe
know,
that?
right? I
Like
don't know how I
years
remember.
ago. Have you gone back to listen to any of our old episodes?
No.
It's so cringy.
Yeah, probably. We were.
I played the first one. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, this one's about the skinwalker.
No, that was the second one. First one was Foo Fighters
Yeah.
and Pied Piper. And that was so long ago. I remember being so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to fail.
Yeah, now we're just shitty, mediocre podcasters.
Now I just don't even care. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Love us, hate us. I don't give a fuck. Okay, this is from Ogre AOH. My folks and I lived right at the edge of a fairly big national forest. The back 4 acres or so of our property was fenced in so the dogs could run, but they constantly found ways out and we had to patch holes or fill in digs. This had gone on for months and was just a part of life now. One night I was getting home fairly late, and as I got out of my car, my pappy hollered from somewhere in the woods along the fence. Hey, since you're home, can you come give me a hand?
Dun, 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 dun.
The person I was on the phone with heard him and said they'd let me go since it sounded like I had a fence to fix. I hollered back that I was going to set my stuff in the house and I'd be right there. When I opened the door to set my stuff down, Pappy was sound asleep in the recliner in the living room. As soon as I saw him, every hair on me stood on end. I practically dove inside, shut the door, slammed the deadbolt home like I was trying to drive it into the door frame. I don't know what was calling me from the woods, but I know it definitely wasn't my dad. You know what it is.
Stick
the Wendigo.
Indians. Oh,
What'd you say?
stick Indians.
I thought you said stick idiots. I was like, what the fuck is a stick idiot? Is this something new? Did I miss something?
Like, Clete, you gotta. I don't know if you could still
you
be on this
okay?
podcast anymore. All right, this one is pot makes me feel normal.
Oh,
Yeah.
now you're just making shit
The
up.
old crunk man. All right, when I was 6,
Stick idiot.
my family lived in Germany. Dad was in the army. In the middle of the night on July 6, 1980, I walked into my parents' bedroom and said, Uncle Daryl said I'm sorry and I love you.
Oh.
My parents figured I was just having a dream. A few minutes later, the phone rang. It was my grandfather calling from the U.S. to tell my dad that his brother had just taken his own life. Sad.
Holy shit.
That is sad, man.
Damn.
That gave me chills. Oof.
Wow, Clete. Way to bring it down, buddy.
Yeah, we were having a good time here.
All right. This is from MN Concerto. Worked overnights at various places for my organization. One place was an old mansion, then a residential program for teen moms. If you stood at the bottom of the servants' stairs in the back of the house, you would hear the noise of a party, people talking, laughing, faint music, etc. Another site was torn down, but before we were even there, it was an old convent site. Several people reported seeing nuns standing in the rubble of the buildings. The nuns were described as wearing old-fashioned habits, the full-length type from head to toe. And for my final story, at my main building, we had a new maintenance man start. He was checking out the place by himself and then checked in with the assistant director. She asked him how it was going, any questions. He said no, he had a nice conversation with Mary down in the big laundry room. She talked about how she used to do all the kids' laundry and repair the clothes, but now she just helps in the kitchen for breakfast and lunch. Wonder if Mary's even alive. Our assistant director looked at him and said, Mary died 2 years ago. But yes, that is what she did. So yep, he had a full-on conversation with a ghost. I put her name in quotes because I can't remember it off the top of my head. Mary died so long ago in a tragic burning accident.
You know, being dead's like dreaming. Most of the time, you don't even realize it. All right, the next one is from Killer Barbie.
God damn, Clete, that was deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Killer Barbie. I keep getting the cool names.
Not Bart, you fucking idiot. I was talking about the quote.
Yeah, I know. I was
Killer Barbie.
I was doing a transition still.
Oh, that was quite the transition.
Yeah. All right. I did events at a heritage home, and I was often there late at night after weddings. I was trying to close up, and the doors kept unlocking and opening, setting off motion sensors, etc., which prevented me from setting the alarm to leave. I called the cops, thinking maybe it was some hooligans or wedding guests playing games or hiding in closets or something. They combed the whole house with me, and the same things were happening. I finally said, I just want to go home. And everything stopped. How polite.
Wow. I just want to go home. Ghosts. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
The comment says, oh, my bad, G.
Oh, my bad, G. Yeah. All right, this is from Ig Timran. Worked in a restaurant in high school. It was an old place, hundreds of years old, and doubled as a hotel. It had seen a lot, and multiple people had died there in the 20s, apparently something to do with the mafia. And there was a rumor someone had committed suicide years before. After all the guests left, we'd go around the main dining room and do some last-minute tidying up once everything was bussed and cleared. This included blowing out the candles at each table. The main dining room was linked to the lobby by a pair of double doors. I always locked them after we were done. There was only one set of staff keys. After locking the doors, I walked over to the bar room to divvy up tips with the rest of the staff. I was over there for a few minutes when I heard a huge crash and a laugh from the dining room area. Figuring someone had just dropped a tray, a few of us went back to check. The doors were still locked, there was no spill or broken dishes anywhere, and all of the candles on the tables were relit. They were all just doing drugs in the back and forgot they didn't do any of the work. Like, oh shit, I swear we blew them out.
So what we did is we did a bunch of PCP and we had a weird experience.
Guys, we had a bag of PCP to start the night. It is gone.
A
gallon of PCP. Yeah. It's gone.
And something supernatural happened. I'm like, yeah, my ass.
They relit the candles. Nah, we just never put them out.
It's like, we got some CCTV footage.
You guys just sitting around doing drugs, not closing shop, and then freaking out when you saw the candles were still lit.
Would it be funny if we blamed this on ghosts?
They'll never believe
Rips off his face. All right, the
Jesus
next one.
Christ.
That's what happens on PCP, man.
Good Lord, that took a turn.
And the next one is from C. Biscotti. When my grandmother was a teenager, her little sister made plans to go out with some friends. The night before the plans, my grandmother dreamt that my deceased great-grandfather came to her and warned her not to let her little sister go out the next night. My grandmother stopped her little sister from going, and obviously, little sister was pissed, but she ended up not going. The friends that she was going out with got into a very serious car wreck and was severely injured. I don't think they ever discussed it with each other ever again after that. It's always that little thing in the back of your head. It's like, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And, they listened and, might not be alive if they let her go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what's weird? Like, I actually have been thinking about that a lot. Like, if I'm on my way to work and I hit every single red light, there's a part of me that's like, I'm probably hitting these for a reason.
It's because you're the main character, man. We're all just auxiliary characters.
Yeah.
In the great simulation.
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured. I
Books,
knew you were going to say that.
Books and libraries.
Yeah.
Not even written, man. Just blank pages.
Well, it's all written by the same
We're
person
all NPCs,
or blank.
but you, Britain.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, people. Glad you're all listening. Good Lord. All right, I'm going to do two because number one, I think it's the same person, but it's like deleted and then deleted. It's really short. So the first one, on 2 occasions, years apart, I was sitting alone in my bedroom and heard shh quite loudly. The audacity of a ghost shushing me when I wasn't even being noisy. Imagine hearing shh. Go to sleep. Next one, also from deleted, happened when I was like 13. Came home at night and noticed that my dad forgot to lock the back door and all windows on the first floor. Just my mom and I in the house. Dad was out of town. Since I was technically the man of the house, I decided to do a complete check of the 3,500 square foot house by myself. Wow, flex much? Swept through the first and second levels, checked under the bed and all the closets. When it came time to check the unfinished basement, I grabbed a knife and had my mom follow behind me. I was 13. Give me a break. Now, when I took a few steps into the basement, before I could turn on the lights, a few boxes that were placed on the concrete floor fell over, almost like someone was hiding behind them for cover. Gathered as much guts I had at 13 and decided to proceed further with my check. My mom, who was 43 or 44 at that time, stopped dead in her tracks and didn't want to come down any further. At this point, I was 100% sure there was someone in the house. I was just happy I had the knife. Swept through the entire basement and no one was there. The boxes that fell over were heavy and couldn't have fallen off without some intervention. Didn't sleep that entire night, just kept guard. Still haven't figured out how it happened. No scientific explanation, no pressure points on the floor, nothing. It was a draft.
Spooky. No, I think it was ghosts. Zombie ghosts.
Zombie ghosts? What the fuck is a zombie ghost?
Did you read this one? I just saw the word Poppy. I was like,
Ogre AOH. It's Pappy.
Okay. Did you read this one?
I did.
Did you read this one? Did you read this one?
Leaky ass fire. That's yours. That's definitely yours. Leaky ass fire. Hell
That's hilarious.
yes.
All right, the next one is from Leaky Ass Fire.
Oh my lord.
Mid-90s, 13 years old. Leaky ass. Just kidding.
My ass is leaking.
Summer break. I was home alone and sleeping in like I loved to before the heat rolled in. Anyways, the phone kept ringing and ringing, but the caller wasn't leaving a message, so I didn't pick it up. Eventually, they gave up, and I was just about to go back to sleep when the doorbell started ringing nonstop. I dragged my ass out of bed and go downstairs to open the door. It's the neighbor girl from down the street. She was about my sister's age, 11 or 12. She had a bat in one hand and a cordless phone in the other.
The fuck?
She was crying uncontrollably. I let her in and got her to calm down a bit. When she could finally talk, she said that she was home alone for the day and that a few hours ago their dog Pepper had started barking uncontrollably at a spot in their upstairs hallway. She said she had also heard banging noises coming from the same place upstairs. She had already called the police and they did come out, but everything stopped just as they got into the house. Then it started up again after it had been thoroughly searched. Her parents had been notified too, but they felt as if it was just her imagination, so they didn't come home. She asked me to come check it out with her. I immediately slipped on my shoes and followed her down to her house. When we rounded the corner to the cul-de-sac where her house sat, we noticed that the front door was open. She said that she had closed and locked it before leaving, but given the state that she showed up in my house, I felt like she may have just forgot and didn't think anything of it. When we get into the house, and immediately I could feel something on the back of my neck, like a tingle. At 13, I really didn't understand what that feeling meant, but later in life I would end up associating it with my gut telling me immediate danger. However, while I didn't understand the feeling then, I immediately became a little anxious and frightened. As we sat there on the landing to her front door, I could hear their dog Pepper barking at something upstairs, probably from the long hallway. I asked my neighbor to stay with me and give me the bat. Then we started clearing the house, starting with the basement, then the kitchen, living room, and the garage, until we were back in the front of the house near the stairs that led to the second level. With no one else to check, we cautiously headed up. The stairs went up to a short hallway that led to the master bedroom on the left before turning right to the other 2 bedrooms and bathroom. We cleared the master bedroom, then we're left with the long hallway of the rooms and the bathroom to check. At the end of the hallway was their dog, Pepper, and he seemed to be fixated on the point on the ceiling just outside the door at the end of the long hallway. Looking up, I didn't see anything, so we continued to the bedroom on the left, then to the bathroom on the right, before we reached the end of the hall, where there was one more bedroom to check. It was her bedroom. As we approached her door to her room, we were startled by a slamming door behind us. It was the door to the master room, a room that we had just cleared together. At this point, the dog stopped barking and then ran off down the hall towards the stairs. However, as he rounded the corner, he stopped dead in his tracks in front of the now closed master bedroom door and started growling. Right as he did this, the neighbor girl got really scared and started crying. Then she dropped to her knees, brought her hands together in front of her, and started reciting the Lord's Prayer. Right as she said, "Hallowed be thy name," the door to the room slammed shut, followed by the bathroom door I was standing right next to. Then the spare bedroom door at the end of the hall near the master room slammed shut as well. Right after all the doors slammed, there was a giant thud above us, like someone bringing their fist down on a tabletop. In this case, though, the roof was the tabletop, and the thud resonated throughout the entire house.
God just gave your house a love tap.
God. Now, knowing what to do, I just yelled stop. It wasn't directed at anyone, but I got my neighbor's attention and the dog's attention, and then everything went silent. The dog, the praying, the weird vibe on the back of my neck, all of it. We just stood there in silence for a couple of minutes. Then we got our shit together and went downstairs. I told her she could hang out at our place for a while, and she agreed. We made sure to grab the dog and lock up, then walk back to my house.
Damn.
Yeah, if I was a kid and that happened, I'd be like, you know what? Let's go ride bikes.
Yeah, let's go outside for a
We'll
while.
go ride bikes. We'll solve it.
We're going to go, yeah. Ride our scooters.
I don't know where we're going, but we're going to ride
going
bikes.
somewhere. Let's go to the local grocery store for a Slurpee. That's a good idea.
Such a long story.
You got a bunch of like salt or something by a door frame. You trying to keep spirits
Gotta
out right
keep
where I
the,
sit.
Gotta keep the poltergeists out. They keep trying.
Right where I
see their
sit?
Long fingers try to get through that door. The church door.
It's because of all the shit we've done in your house.
There was a satanic church in there earlier. Yeah. Found pentagrams under there.
Hell yeah, dude. Pentagrams are dope. All right, this is from X-Border 1983. I've had many what I believe to be paranormal experiences in my home over the years, but I'd say the following two tie for scariest, because many of the other incidents could potentially have an explanation that is not paranormal. These ones clearly have no other. Oh, it's a good setup. It's a good setup. Right after I bought my place in 2009, I had a roommate yet while I was engaged and waiting for the wedding. Did not live with fiance. Okay. One night he'd been out to a party and I stayed home and went to bed instead. About 2 a.m. he suddenly burst through my door panicked, saying someone had broken into the house and said, "Listen." And right then I heard the sound of someone running up the stairs to the second floor where I have a large rec room. That's partially over my bedroom, and running all over the rec room, stomping very loudly. I burst out of bed and grabbed the pistol I keep next to my bed, ran to the stairwell, my heart pounding and fully expecting to be seconds away from shooting somebody. I got to the top of the stairs and no one was in the room. I checked the closets, door to my deck, it was locked, and my office that was upstairs too, also locked. No one was there. We went back downstairs and sat in the living room that is also beneath the rec room, talking about it for a couple minutes when we hear the sound of someone running around again upstairs. I ran back up and still no one there. However, there was furniture pulled out into the middle of the room and I found the light on in my locked office. That scared the crap out of me for some reason, even though weird things had been going on for several months. So like someone's just fucking running around up in the rec room, having a blast.
Ghosts want to work out, you know?
Ghosts need to get swole too. Another incident happened one morning when I'd woken up real early to go snowboarding by myself. This person puts a lot of quotations like, I'm alone. I don't go to parties and I go snowboarding by myself.
Alone. Help me.
Good Lord. And he doesn't live with his fiance. Made that very clear. As I was grabbing breakfast, I noticed some red spots on the floor. That's blood. My roommate had also been out that night before, and I noticed a bag of Arby's sitting on the table and figured he'd spilled some Arby's sauce on something. Didn't go ask him because he was still asleep and left without thinking of it anymore.
Smelled coppery.
Yeah. Didn't taste like Arby's sauce, I'll tell you that. He's like licking it off the floor.
Dip some fries into it. Didn't taste like Arby's sauce and
That's
fries.
a little rusty today.
Put it on some of my sandwich, too.
All right, back to snowboard by myself.
Keep eating it?
I don't know. I thought it would start tasting like Arby's sauce, so I just kept going back for more.
Slurped the whole thing up.
Jesus Christ.
The cops looked at me like they were monsters when I called them.
Good Lord, dude. That escalated quickly. All right. About noon, I had stopped at a restaurant at the top of the ski area, which was the only place on the mountain that had cell service. I asked him for some Arby's sauce because I was getting a craving. Just kidding. Wanted to get some lunch and checked my phone to see several voicemail notifications from both my roommate and fiance. They were panicked, saying that there was blood all over the floor. He's like, no, it's Arby's sauce. I got most of it off.
Yeah, put a bunch on my fries.
I called them back and they told me that my roommate had woken up to find red spots similar to what I'd seen literally all over the floors in the house and even up on the counters and the walls. Good God. They said they had originally thought one of our pets had injured... Oh, Jesus Christ, it's just everywhere. Like, what have you done? They said that they had originally thought that one of our pets had been injured, but had checked all of them and they were fine. When I got home that evening, I saw for myself the extent of where this substance had appeared. It definitely appeared to be dried blood and was hard to clean up, like blood can be, and had that characteristic smell blood has. It wasn't like big pools, but just little droplets, all over. Counters, floors, doors, even chest height on many of the walls. Took hours for us to scrub it all off. It covered the house to an extent that there was no possible way I would have missed seeing it all when I left that morning. So it appeared at some point between 6:30 a.m. when I left and 9 a.m. when my roommate said he woke up. Debated with my roommate, saving a sample and submitting it to a lab for analysis, but then we realized that if it turned out to be human blood, it might put us under suspicion of a crime.
So first of all, regardless if they do the test, they should be under suspicion of a crime.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of blood in my house, but I didn't test it because then people might think I killed someone there. No. There was blood in your house, so people
all over the place.
The police should think that something happened.
I'm thinking something happened. Who the fuck did your friend murder when he was out at night?
It doesn't make any sense.
I stopped by this place and I found this lovely lady and I haven't seen her since.
We just knew if we got that testing, people would suspect. Suspect what?
So we didn't do it, and no one's gonna suspect a thing. Good Lord. Still to this day, have no explanation. I do. Your friend murdered somebody, didn't want to tell you. Get out of the house. How long ago was that? That was 1 month ago. Well, exporter 1983, I hope you're doing all right.
He's going to jail, man.
If you can read this from jail, hope you're doing okay.
I was A positive that would get the cops on us.
But it was B negative.
All right. This one is from Betsy Marie. Not the most terrifying experience I've had, but a group of 5 of my teenage friends and myself saw a lady walking up a country road one day.
The thread literally says, what's the most pants shitting experience? And she's like, not the most terrifying I've had.
Yeah, this wasn't a shit, it was a shat.
Then go put it on the fucking what mildly inconvenient, scary experience have you had?
We're all stuffed in a little car, but it's a rural area in Kentucky, and this was the early 90s, so we stopped to ask if she was okay.
Rural is literally the dumbest word in existence. How do you, like, rural?
Rural? Rural.
Rural? I hate it. I hate rural. Rural. The fuck? I hate it.
This lady was solid until we pulled up to her, and it was almost like she was flickering in and out of this plane of existence. You could see through the trees behind her, through her, and she was dressed in a typical working clothes of a farmer's wife in the 1900s, apron and printed dress, hair in a plain scarf. The kids closest to the window in the back seat practically squashed me, trying to put distance between themselves and the apparition, but we honestly didn't want to be rude, even to a ghost.
We don't want to piss this ghost off. We got to be polite, even to the dead.
She asked us if we'd seen Thomas, who had apparently was her son, and had walked to town for milk. Town was at least 15 miles away. The older kid driving offered her a ride, even though there was no room, and she said no, didn't want to be a bother, and Thomas should be back shortly, but thanked us for the offer. Whole time she was flickering between see-through and solid. We part ways, and the boy up front in the passenger seat was panicked. He kept saying, "She was invisible," over and over. I know shit, bro.
No
She was invisible.
Shit.
She was invisible.
You could see through her. That's what a ghost is.
Oh, man, it was so dramatic. Everyone in the back seat is crying.
Oh, my God.
We couldn't believe what we saw in the broad daylight. Once we get back to town, no sign of Thomas on the way. We got to the park to collect ourselves. I was mad at the driver for stopping and wanted to know why the hell he would have offered a ride to the ghost. He said an old-timer had told him a story about a lady asking for rides on the road, and if you refused her, you would wreck and die in the next curve, so he offered her a ride.
Didn't we cover that story? There's like a ghost.
There's so many stories about that, you know?
It's like I think it was one of the urban legends of one of our states we covered. It's like, if you don't give this lady a ride, she's going to wreck your fucking car.
She'll wreck your whole life.
Take your money, she'll take your kids, she'll take your house,
Half
she'll take
your
your
house,
job.
have everything you've earned.
Prenup! Jesus Christ.
Hell for a ride.
Hell for a fucking ride. She took your goddamn life. God damn.
We're men rights.
Yeah, men have it harder than women. Women just suck the life out of you. Better edit the fuck out of this, dude. None of this can make
That's
it.
funny, though.
None of this can make it. Jesus Christ.
We were so disturbed by this whole thing, none of us spoke about it again for 10 years. Outside of
For 10 years? Like, specifically. It's been 10 years.
I
Should
gotta
we
repeat
talk about what happened?
outside of an occasional, did that happen? That's probably the fifth most terrifying experience I've ever had.
The fifth?
What the fuck?
I
can't do
my
it.
God.
I can't. So I just can't believe this story because it says, what's like the
most pants
chattiest
shitting
story you've ever had? And she posts this and says the fifth.
She started by not the most, did you read what thread you were posting on, Betsy Marie?
But then she wrote, it's validating because there were so many of us. I don't want to get to mention the other stuff because I don't want to invite anything. How convenient.
How about you start talking about the other stuff, Betsy? God damn it. This is the problem with Reddit sometimes. It's like, I've got, you get this awesome thread, and it's
easily the 93rd most horrifying thing that's ever happened to me.
What's the worst thing that ever happened? This isn't the worst. It's probably 93rd on my list of everything. Okay, we should be talking about at least top 5. Why are you wasting my time? Whew. All right, this is from Swordfish468. I was home alone and saw a dark shadow of a woman climb up the stairs and go down the hallway and vanish into the wall. That's not fucking creepy. It was absolutely jarring because my aunt used to live in that house and heard the woman all the time. I used to pet sit for her all the time and never saw or heard anything. My parents moved into the house after my aunt moved out, and that's when I finally saw the woman, and they didn't take me seriously. Thought I was trying to scare my younger siblings. My aunt had to tell them that the house was haunted.
All right, I'm going to read a trilogy of threads that are linked.
A trilogy,
Yeah.
huh? It's like Lord of the Rings, huh?
So the first one who wrote it is, what a minute, who are you?
What? Wait a minute. It's wait a minute, who are you?
My mom told me that years ago she had a dream about her friend dying. The next day, she called his grandma to check on him, and he died the night before her dream. Bob Smith, 616, replies, had a similar experience more than 20 years ago. Had a very disturbing, surreal nightmare about a specific acquaintance friend, not a close friend. A day later, I found out, though, my school, that she had died that night, violently. Recorded manner of death was suicide, but I suspect it might have been a murder. Either way, I had a nightmare about her the same night that it happened. Don't know if distance matters for paranormal stuff, but it was hundreds of miles away from where she had been living and died, and we hadn't been in contact for over a month. Again, more of an acquaintance than a close friend. Then, Reveal Active 4557 replies, "This has happened to me multiple times to the point where when I've had dreams several nights in a row about somebody I have not seen or interacted with for years or decades, I know it was because they have died. My sister also has the same thing. Not scary or even spooky yet, just like having a fond memory of somebody that you have not been thinking about for in a long time." Kind of interesting.
Okay. That's probably rank 6 on their top spooky opportunities.
It's not like when I faced the demon with the fiddle on North Street. It's like, wait, what? Could you expand on that?
Better story? No,
I don't want to talk about it.
It's not for the faint of heart. We
Kinda
can't
bored.
talk about it.
Kind of bored right now. I gotta
I'm going to sleep. Goodbye.
Gotta make some top ramen.
Jesus Christ. This is from Opportunity Basic. Me and 3 friends were staying at a friend's grandparents' house in Nottingham, England. Quaint. It was an old house, as many are in England. The stairs were steep with narrow steps, almost like they had been built long before any regulations had been put in place for that kind of thing. It's like, hope you can make it up this 90-degree angle. This made them hard to run up or down because there were extra steps that were narrower than usual, and we all agreed that the stairs were different here. That's the scary part, is the stairs are off. Like, man, those stairs are fucking paranormal.
Got something extra on those stairs.
4 of us, all 14 years old, were set up to sleep in the living room. His nan and granddad were upstairs in bed. They were old and in bad health. His granddad had only half of one lung from smoking. His nan had always been quite overweight. We were laying on the sofa's top and tail when we heard someone run down the stairs, switch the light switch at the bottom of the stairs off, and sprint back up, hitting every single step. Something I had failed to achieve myself.
Wow.
Damn. He conquered the horrible stairs. We all jumped into the center of the room and huddled together until the morning. None of us can explain it, and we still talk about it to this day. How a ghost did stairs? I don't believe in ghosts, and there is obviously an explanation somewhere. Perhaps his grandparents tried to spook us?
God, that's so scary.
Wait, are we doing 2 beers in one episode?
Hell yeah. So I got a beer for the podcast. It's called the Joy Bus. Wow is the name.
Wheat. It's Wow Wheat.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with Wow. It's the Owen Wilson of beers. And I saw it because
Wow.
I saw the school bus. And, there's always that inside joke about the school bus.
I don't think it's a school bus. It looks like a hippie bus.
Bro, that's a school bus of kids going into...
Never to be seen
Never
again.
be seen again. A field trip to hell.
This is a first. I mean, we've had multiple beers, but usually it's the same one. But 2 beers in one episode.
It's not cold, so I apologize. I kind of drink my beers a little warm. So
You're a fucking psychopath.
it tastes like Blue Moon, but a little bit better.
Yeah.
more orange
I used
peel.
to drink Blue Moon quite often,
Yeah.
and then I stopped because I just didn't care for it.
Well,
Couldn't be as bad as terrible. I'll tell you that much.
terrible. You wankers, I'm going to unsubscribe.
I still think of that guy. Like, you guys suck. You literally bought a beer
You
called
bought
Terrible.
a beer called Terribles. You're idiots.
You're an idiot. I'm done listening.
For
Okay.
God's sakes.
Hopefully, give you 45 minutes of your life back every week, I guess. Sorry about it. Fucking Jack.
All right. You like it?
Oh,
Is it good?
that tastes like a mimosa, dude. It's like orangey.
I don't think it's that orangey, but
It's wondrous. Orange wheat.
it's like a Blue Moon if it tasted orangey.
That's very orangey.
yeah.
It's
like
not
it.
orangey. It's like a blue moon if it was orangey.
Okay,
It's fucking orangey.
All right.
Clete.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, wheat. All right. The
I love
next
how you
story.
tell me it's not orangey, and then you're like, it's like orangey.
The next story is OK Willingness, 784.
Okay, willingness.
I worked at a grocery store bakery, and my coworkers told me it was built on a burial ground.
Oh.
Just had some inside knowledge.
How did I just get to leaky ass fire?
I don't know, dude. It's weird how we don't match at all.
We don't match on Tinder.
I rolled my eyes. Yeah, okay, right? When I was baking cookies, I was waiting for the alarm that was about to go off when, I swear on my life, a hand that was white, like a sheet, was reaching for my shoulder. I felt a chill through me as I jumped like a foot in the air and did a spinning kick to nothing.
It's just a ghost that likes to give massages.
I did a roundhouse kick that would have just hurt a fucking jack guy because I'm fucking ready.
It would have killed a normal human, but this was a ghost.
Nothing.
Did nothing. I fucking Chuck Norris the hell out of this guy.
Roadhouse. I had a few experiences there, but nothing that terrified me as bad as that. Even when I swore I saw a man staring at me. The thing...
What?
Yeah, from behind the bread aisle. Just kidding. From the banana aisle.
I just took a pair of bananas and see some eyeballs.
I just saw some guy lift up from the bananas and then go back down.
Staring at me. He had malicious intent.
Sorry, we can't have more than one beer. All right.
He was turned mental.
The thing that made that moment scare me was that back in my high school, my BFF and I were walking down a hall and a hand came between us, white as a sheet, and turned out to be nothing.
This white as a sheet hand is just following these guys around. All right, this is from Mia Goth's eyebrows. I mean, I don't know, are her eyebrows that
God, they're
crazy?
so fleek.
Did you say fleek?
Yeah, that's what they say.
On
right?
fleek?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Clete,
I
you're
don't even know
using
what
the
it means.
young person jargon. That's beyond our generation.
I don't know,
right?
man. You kind of seem sus right now.
Wow. You've been on the TikToks, sus, on fleek. Sheesh.
I'm out of words.
Come on, let's
out of
go.
words.
You're on the train, man. You got to keep doing the young hip words.
Pokemon.
No, that was like 90s, dude. That was our childhood.
That's right.
I mean, it's still going, I guess. All right, Mia Goth's eyebrows. I was in this forest that's part of a place called the Bridgewater Triangle, which is one of the most haunted areas in the United States. Yes, it is. Anything with a triangle in the name is not a good place to be.
Yeah.
I was in a specific part of it called Profile Rock with 3 of my friends, and we were out late. It was about 2:30 or 3 a.m. at that time. We were on our way out walking down this long, winding path to get back to our vehicle. Keep in mind, it's pitch black out, pretty much, and we could only see from the moon shining through the trees. I don't know why I turned around. I didn't hear anything, and I didn't feel like anything was following us, but I turned around, and I looked in, and looked in back of us, and I saw something running at us about 100 feet away. Nope. What scared me wasn't that something was running at us. It was how it was running at us. You know how a zombie walks in a horror film, like dragging its leg, almost limping? That's how this thing was running at us, like it broke its ankle or something. Initially, I thought it could be someone who got injured in the woods or something until I saw this thing run past the moonlight. It's like some guy running for help, and they're like, oh my God.
I need help for the love of God.
You know how a child draws a person as a stick figure? That's exactly how this thing looked. It had no facial features and no face, just a completely blank face like a stick figure, and its body looked the same from what I could see. No definition or anything. That's quite the Slender Man reference there. I called my friend that was closest to me, called his name out in a panicked voice. He glanced in that direction I was looking, which was now all moonlit area, and I could tell by his facial expression that I wasn't seeing things. We both took flight and started running. My other 2 friends were up ahead and shot around and asked us what's wrong, to which I replied, just fucking run! I didn't look back once until we were right near our car, and it was gone, like it was never even there. Though by then it should have certainly been on top of us. I'll never know exactly what the fuck that was, but I did Google blank stick men sightings on Google and was horrified to find out that multiple people all over the world have seen something just like it. Sometimes the unknown is better left unknown. It's literally Slenderman.
All right, this one is from Del Snafu.
Jesus Christ, Clete, you like knock yourself to the floor? This is why we can't have more than one beer. God damn it. You're like, you're on the floor like beating yourself to death. Clete can't stop. He's literally going to beat himself to death.
I can't do this anymore. I'm dying.
Right, last one.
This one is from Del Snafu. I also had a creepy experience in England. Old house, supposedly a former college dorm, split into flats. Got home around 2 in the morning, shut the door, pet the cat in the hallway for a few minutes, and then went to my room.
Is that a euphemism? I stopped for a few minutes to
went to the bathroom
pet
and pet the cat.
Jesus Christ.
The next thing I knew, I hear a loud stomping down the hallway and a brush against the wall. The front door pulled open and then out of the hallway.
Jeez.
I immediately went into the hallway because I thought I pissed off one of my roommates. The front door is wide open, and the cat is looking out of it, startled. before it runs in the opposite direction. So I went outside. To see if my roommates was out there. There was no one. I even looked behind the trash bins and cars. When I get back inside, my roommate is asking what happened. Very creepy. All the doors and windows are locked. The roommate had not been asleep for more than 30 minutes by the time it happened. I left the house a week later. A few months later, I started getting calls from my roommate saying that I needed to come back. I thought it was weird and forgot about it, but a couple of years later, I learned that she believed that there were ghosts in the house and they wanted to talk to me. It went on for some time, and apparently she was hospitalized. Don't remember any of it.
Wow. Okay, snafu. All right, last one for the night from Cover Optimal. There's an old red brick canal bridge close to my family farm where I grew up. I used to play hide and seek there with my 3 sisters, one older, 2 younger. We'd play out there for hours. When I was about 8, I was lightly bitten by a black Labrador that literally came out of nowhere. I then had complete amnesia until I woke up at home the next day. Apparently I had come home, Mom had dressed the wound, and I had had tea, got in the bath, and gone to bed. Never had any blackout period before or since. When I was 34, I was looking at my parents' neighbor's 4-year-old dog, by chance a black lab, as a favor as they had gone on holiday. I walked down to the canal and saw 3 girls playing on the bridge. Then I called Rosie back, the lab, and she came back with blood on her face. She had been known for going after rabbits, so I wasn't too worried, but doubled back to check the children were okay. Oh shit. They were gone. The bridge is in the middle of nowhere, and the village nearby has no children anymore. Because the dog ate them?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. That's when I realized the girls were my sisters. I'm absolutely sure of it. They had the same clothes, same laughs, same everything. I haven't walked there again and never told anyone. What the fuck? I am confused. Anyway.
Yeah, that's the end.
Okay,
if you know what I meant, let us.
All right, well, that's going to wrap us up for this evening. Thanks again for joining us, and obviously, thank you for all of our supporters of the show. We got Modelo Time, Mothman, Devin, Conklin family, and Lou. Again, thank you for all this support. We really appreciate it. As Clete said, we do want to have constant growth so we can continue to do better content. We really want to get video going, so hopefully we can do that very soon. But all of your contributions help us continue to improve. Obviously, Clete said we do break even kind of every month. Helps get the beer and the equipment and everything, so we really appreciate you guys. If you want to support the show, we'll obviously post the link in the description and on YouTube, but we really appreciate every dollar you support.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching us on Spotify, thank you. We're over 550 subs over there.
Wow.
And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.